Games, board games, it's what I'm talking about. Board games, but I'm not gonna shout. I am starting off this streaming with a little bit of singing, and yesterday a question was asked of me, what skill would I like to learn instantly? And then I thought and I pondered a bit, and it kind of feels like if you get the skill, then you just quit. So I guess I want to talk about how the striving is the joy. And maybe that's not something I would want to employ. Anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good whatever it is, wherever you are. It's 10 a.m. UK time. Bezzy Beats and board game BLETHER. Hello, Timmy. It is lovely, lovely, lovely to see you. And today, as I mentioned, Catherine Dreyer asked me this question: would I want to learn any skill instantly? What skill would you like to learn instantly? Now, my first thought was teleportation. But yeah, that's a really good skill. Like, I was thinking flying, teleportation, and I thought, no, time travel, that would be the ultimate skill. If I could time travel, go back in time, see what's going on there, teleport back in time, I might use it to, make sure I'm financially affluent. I'm not going to say I'm above doing a biff and using the sports results or whatever and betting on things. But honestly, I think I would use it for adventuring and knowledge. I just think that would be amazing, going into the future, seeing what life is like a billion years in the future. And I guess I'd also have to construct some sort of spacesuit, some like breathing apparatus, because maybe I don't know what life is going to be like. Who knows whether I will be able to cope with the gases? And then Catherine Dreyer said, no, I meant something that's not a superhero skill, something realistic, like, say, 2D and 3D animation. And that's a good question. But I want to, before I answer that, and I might not even answer that, I want to talk about how you don't want to do everything instantly. Basically, if you're making a game, I'm definitely better at making games than I was a while ago. And look, I'm not going to say I enjoy the process of drawing. That's not something that I'm really in love with. But when I am doing it, there is a thing of, okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm thinking about this. And then afterwards, there's a satisfaction when I've got the memories of what I've done. Satisfaction of the task achieved, the reflection of how did I plan to do it? How did that actually turn out? And if I had the skill instantly, I mean, if I was able to just do all the things instantly, then I don't know if that would be as fun, as interesting. And I guess that's what I'm trying to say. But before I get into all that, let's talk about recent highlights, living life and seeing the sights. Recent highlights, playing games and other delights. Recent highlights. What are some of your recent highlights? What have you been up to? Let me know. Yesterday, I spent some time with family. I played 4 different games that I'd made with them. I played a game about counting cats' shapes and colors that keeps getting trickier. A game about quickly matching words to pictures, but never words to words or pictures to pictures. A game about drawing creatures, complementing the drawings and complementing the complements. And of course, a game about and I can't quite remember what the 4th one is right now. It was a game about stuffing balloons as a team without talking, but it's a card game. There are no actual balloons, and so all of these things were enjoyed. And interestingly, whilst at the time the real-time games were the things that they were like, oh yeah, these are the best ones, but then it was the stuffing balloons as a team that then made them feel, oh, we want to come back to it. There's actually something to strive for, some strategy. This is interesting. We're thinking about how to win this game. and that was a real delight. I also had a wee stream with Emily Willix. It was nice to be chatting and seeing a lot of people asking questions. I enjoy chatting with people, and so I enjoy talking, and that's a nice thing. So that's some of my recent highlights, and going for a wee walk, enjoying life, and also I think I might have just had my train ticket refunded that I wasn't able to use. So that was brilliant. Let's talk about that brilliant thing. Brilliant thing was a little thing which is brilliant. I mean, yeah, making mistake, spending money that you're like, oh, this is money that I shouldn't have to spend. Sure, there was a £10 admin fee. They made £10 off me. Good luck to them. But at least I got the biggest chunk of the money back, because otherwise that would have been like over £100 wasted. So getting a refund, someone who's actually willing to say, yes, you know what, you didn't get your thing. And so that's level of customer service and making things fair. I think that's for me what it's all about. I understand that there needs to be an admin fee, maybe. Like you can't um, book a ticket and then, although it feels weird that the admin fee is apparently different based on the price of the ticket. So if we look at the if I share my screen over here, just talking, and so I guess this is the end of the brilliant thing, but still, things being fair is brilliant. And why is it that up to £1.99 no fee, £2 there's £1 fee? I mean, look, if at £15 the admin for issuing the refund isn't any less or more, surely. Surely the amount of admin that they need to charge is always the same. Like, apparently, if they call the contact center, they charge a £10 fee. But for something bought online or using apps, the fee is based on the value of the ticket being cancelled. And so, why? I mean, if they can, I'm just wondering, is this just because there's a regulation? Is this just to give an extra sense of fairness? Because it would kind of make more sense to me to just have a £9 fee for everyone, or a £10. Like, that would be rubbish for the people who buy it cheaper. But why are there different fees? I don't quite understand. Anyway, that to the side. Fairness, things being refunded, brilliant thing. As always, feel free to give me your own recent highlights, your own, what's an example of something that's fair to you and why fairness is brilliant. Feel free to comment and ask questions. I always appreciate that. So back to the main topic. When you're playing a game, it's not about just seeing the end. A good story, a good film should still be enjoyable even if you know exactly how it's going to turn out. Sometimes I read up on Wikipedia just to make sure that I'm not addicted to watching something just for the sake of that curiosity gap, because there's enough in life to be curious enough. I don't need to be curious about this film or this TV show that I've just started watching and then feel like I need to keep watching just for the sake of finding out what happens. I mean, that sense of just finding out what happens, that's not a super healthy thing, I don't think. I think ideally you want to be enjoying the watching, enjoying the process. And a good TV show, you can rewatch. A good film, you can rewatch. Any good show, you will. Sure, there might be a twist in it, and if you know that there's a potential twist, maybe you're like, okay, this is just such a good film, I'm not going to read anything about it. It's like everything, everyone all at once, everywhere all at once. I'm going to watch that film just because so many people have recommended it to me, and I don't know anything about it other than the artwork. And I'm assuming that there's some sorts of martial arts. I'm assuming that there's a lot of people. I'm assuming that there's lots of places in it. And I'm assuming that maybe there's some sorts of I'm assuming it's hyperbole. I'm assuming it's not literally all at once, because that would involve like lots of time travel and they keep going back to the same exact moment. I mean, maybe that is the point of the film, that, there's this weird time travel effect that everyone is in history is at this one moment, but yeah, or maybe it's like a snap, but I've just been recommended it by so many people. I'm going to watch it because I think, and they said, don't read anything about it. Okay, I will follow your advice. But let's say I watch recently a show about garage music called People Just Do Nothing. Now, this is a lovely show. There is a bit of romance and a bit of, oh, what's going to happen? And that's not the main point of the show. The main point is just seeing the jokes, seeing the exploration, seeing the characters, and then you get to the end. In the same way, the point of a game is not just I managed to win, that's the end of the story. It's about what happens to get you there. It's about making plans in a strategic game, whether they pan out or not. That reflection at the end. It's not just about how the story ends. If you're telling a storytelling game, it's about how you came up with that story, the process of building that story as a shared experience. And all of these things, it is about finding that joy. So when someone says, what skill would you like to have instantly right now? I kind of feel like, well, I would love to be amazing at game design. But I would not want that skill, because then that's taking away the joy of the learning, of the striving for it, the joy of making things, and then my later things hopefully become better than my earlier things. And I learn from each thing. Like a game about quickly grabbing creatures that are totally different, and counting your beetroots was inspired by Grabble somewhat. And future games are going to be informed by previous games, and I'm developing this language and these skills. I would like to learn French. Do I want to have the instant skill of just being able to speak French? Actually, you know what? If I could pick any skill, I would say the skill of being, languages. That's probably my answer. Like, because immediately that opens up so much. Immediately, that means that I can communicate with people. I would like the skill to speak all the languages. And yeah, maybe that's verging too far into superhuman skills. So I would just say all the languages that Yogi is printed in, that feels like a good range of languages. So that includes French and German and Japanese and Thai, the main languages that I really want to know, and Spanish and Hungarian and a bunch of other things that I mean, Spanish is pretty gosh darn useful, especially in South America. But will I use Hungarian? Will I use Czech? Probably not, but it'll be nice to know it. And I think that's the key thing. Is this skill, are you obsessing over the end result, or are you actually enjoying the process? Because when you're making a game, don't just obsess over the end result. Don't just obsess over how you want it to be at the end. Enjoy the process. Enjoy the learning of, hey, this wasn't working. Now, sure, we can move away from it and we can change the game, but that's not the real question here. That's not the real learning opportunity. That's not even the real joy. The real joy is to say, why isn't this working? Why do these rules mash together in a non-bow as opposed to a combo where it becomes better? These are actually anti-synergistic, and then they are to the detriment of each other. If you can learn why does this work, and then you gain the deeper understanding, and it's through that pursuit of knowledge about games that I would not want to take that away from myself. I would not want to have absolute knowledge. I would not want to have to just rush to the end of the game and to have learned nothing. And so to anyone out there who's making a game, please enjoy the process. Don't just focus on getting it out as quickly as you can, and take your time. It's something to be savored. Learn about when someone gives you feedback. You don't always need to follow it, but please consider it. Please consider why they're saying that. Maybe they're the wrong person, but this is a learning opportunity for you, and take all the learning opportunities. Then maybe try a different game. Maybe keep working on that game for a while. If you get, whoa, this is a major change, try and pursue that. Enjoy this. Not everything has to be finished. Not everything has to come to a conclusion. And so, yeah, enjoy the process. And similarly, when you're playing a game, when you're playing a storytelling game or a real life game or a running away from people or a hiding away from people game or Euro game or an Ameritrash, whatever kind of game, it's not just about, hey, I was playing hide and seek and someone didn't find me for so long. It's about the enjoy those moments. Enjoy the fact that you are, I mean, I've never hidden for quite that long, but enjoy the moments of searching for the place. Enjoy the moments of hiding. Maybe you're hearing their footsteps moving around, looking for you. Maybe you eventually they call out to you and they give up. Maybe whatever happens. I mean, hide and seek isn't my favorite game because honestly, when you're hiding, there's not loads to do. If anything, I prefer sardines because that's kind of a wee bit funnier. But yeah, the difference with hide and seek is hide and seek, everyone hides, one person seeks, and then last person hidden wins. Sardines, one person hides, everyone else seeks. When you find them, you need to hide in the same place as them, and then the last person to find everyone is essentially the loser. So it's, and then you've got the, hey, someone found me, and now the game keeps going, and so you get to have this shared social moments. And that's the thing. Games aren't about the end. Games are about the process. Games are about the experience. And that, to me, is the difference between a game and a work. A game is something that you don't engage with because it needs to be done, because you need to learn this knowledge, because you want to have all these things shipped off. Like, if you need to have all these things shipped off, that's work. If you say, hey, I'm going to, it's all about the arbitrary restrictions. If you say, I'm going to ship these things off before 2 p.m., but really you have to do it, by the start of next week, that's more of a game. Like, you're saying, okay, how many of these can I do? Whatever. But it's about taking enjoyment in the process. And that's what I hope that you can take away from this. So for now, question of the day. Question of the day. It's a little question before we go on our way. Question of the day. So, if you could have any skill, and that's a real life skill, I guess it also depends. Like, what is a single skill? Is speaking one language a skill? Is speaking 3 languages one skill? Or is it 3 skills? Is the ability to learn languages instantly, like, is that a superhuman skill or is that still a human skill? I don't know, but let me know what you would like if you could. And over to you. What are you up to? You can share buttonly if you want to. What are you up to today? Are you up to something fun and frivolous? Something super serious? Please do share. I promise that I care. So, personally, I am up with the parents. I'm going to head back down. I'm going to do a bit of writing for the LARP. I'm going to get that all done. Fingers crossed. And, oh yeah, I need to check out Playtest UK tomorrow and tell them that I will be there, but doing other work as well. Because for me, it will be useful to be in that nice environment. So what are you up to? What are you doing? And do you have any travels planned? Let me know. So to recap and wrap up before we finish up. Enjoy the process. Don't fixate too much on the end result, because the process, the struggle, that is hopefully, I mean, don't get me wrong, there are some struggles like, if you are dying of hunger or whatever, but some struggles like the learning of a new skill, this is a struggle that ideally we can all take joy in. So for now, if you want to check me out, I am Stuff by Bez everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, YouTube, and if you want to check me out on Discord, then stuffbybez.com/Discord. And if you want to find out what I'm streaming about, well, tomorrow's going to be a quick thing, and I'll be mainly streaming about The Smoke, a London-based LARP festival. On Saturday and Sunday, I might actually have to do some super early streams. The Smoke, I do apologize. I have not the timetable. So 11 a.m. or the 10 a.m. the doors open. So I will be streaming. Maybe I'll start at 9:59 or a couple of minutes early, just before the doors open, and I'll let you know what's going on, and then I will try to keep it less than 10 minutes, and I will do a full recap of everything on Monday. So, as always, lots of love. Thank you very much. Feel free to share, spread the word. It has been lovely to have you with me. I do always respond to all the messages, and for now, lots of love, and bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye, 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 bye. This is a goodbye song. Bye, 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 bye. Thank you for watching along. Bye, 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 bye. This is the end of the show. Bye, 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 bye. And now it's time to go. Bye-bye.